There are way too many cliches about home sweet home. Home is where the heart is. Today's podcast isn't about the cliches. Today's podcast episode is about what is that feeling you get when you come home. Now, the idea of home sweet home looks good on the wall. It makes good for a country home. But what does it mean for a dad? What I found through my over 5 years working with dads is there is this one thing that we weren't told we could have, this feeling of home. Because for us, we were told to go off into the world and do things. We were told since the Industrial Revolution, our place belongs in the workplace. That we were told to climb and find status, find wealth, create titles, bring objects home, bring fancy cars home, build houses, more things, bigger vacations. But all of those things still leave a lot of men broken. I've heard it said that if Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos can't keep their wife happy with $1 billion, what hope do you have? And I don't say that to really upset you. I don't say that to make you feel bad. Maybe you've collected a good series of wealth. I say that to encourage you that wealth and pursuit of more is not something that's going to create the sustainment that you're looking for in your life. It's not going to create that connection within your marriage to give you that feeling to keep going, to keep saying yes every time your anniversary comes around. What this feeling is something that you get when you come home and you get to be something, not just do something. I often remind dads that we are human beings, not human doings. And I recently also heard that we are human belongings. We are meant to belong somewhere, not just to go do things, not to just go earn things, and not just to go have someone else assign some version of status or a salary that says you are worth this much. Because when you come home, that can limit what you feel you're capable of. If you're making $15 an hour at work, you're going to feel very limited probably when you come home, that your worth isn't that good, that if I'm only worth $15 at work, what worth am I at home? That feeling can haunt many men, and that can haunt you whether you make $100,000. That feeling can still be there. And so today's episode is focused on how do you come home through the door of your home? What does it look like when you pull through the driveway of your home? Do you get excited? Are you looking forward to engaging your kids with that big giant group hug if you have young kids that embraces you at the door? Or are you hiding in your car, maybe trying to figure out, like, is this really going to happen again? Do I really have to go in there? Maybe you're regretting not staying longer at the office. I mean, think of how many dads pre-pandemic would just become workaholics and just stay at the office. So many dads get caught up on this idea of that we are defined by what we do, not who we are. And we get to be someone. We get to be you. This is what I help dads do. I help dads figure out who they are and help them be that individual. I help them come home to that feeling that's not a building, that's not a title, that's not a salary, but a feeling that they know when they come home, they're coming home to their best self. They're coming home to the place where they get to feel charged up, that they get to connect on an emotional level with their kids that excites them to go back to the work because they know that one area fuels the other. That when I'm at work, I'm doing all of these things so I can be fully present at home. And when I'm being fully present at home, I know when I go back to work, I'm rewarding myself and earning that time back to be able to come home again and repeat that process. One fuels the other. And most of the time, we get caught up in this trap of I'm thinking about work when I'm home and I'm thinking about home when I'm at work. And we're not really present at either of them. And if you're a manager listening to this, I encourage you to look at this question hard because corporations spend millions of dollars, not billions of dollars every year on engagement, but they never really focus on engaging dads at home. And I am more convinced than ever that an engaged parent at home will be an engaged employee at work. If you want employees to be more engaged in the workplace, help them understand what really engages them. And that's usually the pursuit of love, family, and the happiness that we want from our family, not something that we can get at work. And we often get that backwards. So with that, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you a reframe on what home sweet home could really be. And if you're looking for help on going through this process and figuring out what that home looks like for you, I invite you to check me out over at benkaloy.com. There is a link down in the show notes. There is always an invitation open for a conversation. We talked about how a conversation can change your life last week. That is what this invitation is. And I invite you to a conversation that could change your life, family, and legacy forever. It's over on benkaloy.com. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow.